Superman 35, legacy number 878, Joshua Williamson writing with Eddie Barrows on the art. I didn't read this because I'll come back to it when we're not doing KO tie-ins, but Matt did, so off you go.
Yeah, no, this is the Williamson side of KO, and we're getting into the whole piece of Doomsday being the alpha to Darkseid's Omega, and that they need to get the information to Time Trapper that what Lara had found on Krypton all those, however long ago it was. Is it decades? Is it eons? Who knows? Time travel, or not time travel, space travel and relativity and all that type of stuff. But yeah, Prime and the robots are fighting the Darkseid's Legion, and Lois and Saturn Girl end up like having like this conversation throughout where Saturn Girl's like, you're wasting your time. Superman's dead, right? This is what has happened. And she shows, the events of KO4, right? So if you weren't reading KO4, but you were still reading this, I guess that helps. But at this point, why? And of course, Lois gets upset and they get to fighting. Lois ties her relationship with Superman to Saturn Girl's relationship with Lightning Lad. And for the first time in years after that revelation, she can't feel Darkseid's mind, Saturn Girl. And it's almost like a thought about outside of Darkseid is what brings her around. And so Cosmic Boy comes and destroys a bunch of the robots, which, because he has metal or whatever. And there's a big boom tube, and they get away, and Time Trapper's there feeling defeated. But Superboy, Prime, and Lois are like, you need to see this. And it ends up being a message from Lara that, he was created to fight Darkseid. That's what the alpha is. That's why because Darkseid died the one time, but Doomsday can die and be reborn consistently. That was the opposite. After that, the robot falls apart because the mission's complete. And Superboy Prime looks at the robot and is like, you could have just flown away after you're destroyed. It's like, well, that's not what Superman would have done. Which ties it back to the, all these Superman robots have, pieces of Superman's mentality and personality in him. And Time Trapper's like, oh, it's time. And he fires up his chains, and he has just enough power left to go to the heart of Apocalypse. Like, I like Williamson more than Pete does. Even this, it's running my patience just because there's all just fluff around the story. And just with the way that the last two KO issues have felt, I don't feel like this is going to add to anything. So it says right here, it to be continued in KO5. And then we get like an epilogue with all the other threads that came from, all the other threads that have come from the tie-ins, which is why I guess I didn't need to read United this week. Not United, I did it again. Unlimited this week.
Matt said that before we started the show. He called it Justice League United, and I had to correct him.
Yes. Yeah, so they get to the Earth ship, and we find out that the Titans have evacuated everybody that they could have off planet. Mr. Terrific said that his crew succeeded on his mission, but he looks completely like he's literally been through hell, because that's what we've seen. And Lois goes and finds the Kents, and there's all these kids hanging around them. And it's this very nice moment where Jonathan's hanging out with all these kids of Earth. And they hug, and they ask where Clark is. And she's like, I don't know. And Jonathan's like, well, our son could overcome anything. So I feel like it's setting up some stuff for KO, which I feel like we haven't seen the last of Superman, because that felt like very much a Superman story. And Lois turns around and introduces Mom and Pa Kent to Superboy Prime. And they look shocked. And he holds out his hand, and he's like, I was hoping that you could just call me Clark. And it's setting the scene for Reign of the Superboys. coming up in the Superman book. So yeah, the art here by Barrows and the crew it's been consistent. Like, it's strong. There's a lot of like, all the fight sequences are good, but again, it just feels like when we're talking about Absolute Wonder Woman and there was a fight issue, but there was structure and progression and all of that. Here it's just like, I have no idea what the Darkseid Legion's doing. I feel like they've been standing around for issues, you know? And we still don't have clarity on Lois's powers. Like, they're just coming and going, and it just feels like the whole KO.
I forgot
snapping of
they came back. Yeah, I completely forgot that.
And so it just feels like the KO is like, well, we need it for the story, so we're just gonna do it, you know. But yeah, I feel like just from reading everything at this point, I feel like I know where KO is gonna go, and being the fact that despite it being a Superman story, or despite it feeling like a Superman story, and you know, spoilers for KO4. With Superman seemingly not the winner and not the victor, I feel like Williamson has an ace up his sleeve with Doomsday. Like, there's going to be something that reinvigorates Superman, or he's going to represent Krypton and, you know, shed into a new form, and it's going to be a form of Superman or something. I don't know. But yeah, this is like why did I waste my time on this? But hey, we're through it. KO5's, you know, going to be out soon. And we don't have to worry about it no more. So, do I want to? Yeah, I guess I'll give this a 6. You know, because the art's at least good, and there's some okay moments, but ultimately it's why did I waste my time?